This video demonstrates how to use Ally to improve the accessibility of your PDFs and will outline the pros and cons of different ways to provide students with access to your materials. Let's say you have a document you want to share with students, but you don't want students to modify the document after they receive it. You may decide to convert the document to a PDF to make it more difficult to edit. Office products such as Microsoft Word are getting better at making the conversion process seamless, but issues can still occur. Here, the document has lost its tags during the conversion. Tags are labels applied to text within a PDF that interprets that text's context. And untagged PDFs create a huge access barrier to students who rely on tags to read PDFs. Ally provides coaching for adding tags to PDFs, and the first step is to make the changes to the original file. Going forward, you may decide just to leave the document in its original format, rather than converting. Let's investigate a common issue for instructors whose lectures involve demonstrating math problems. Here we've got a common math formula, handwritten, converted to PDF, and uploaded to Brightspace. To a sighted student, this writing may be easy to see, depending on how good your handwriting is, but for a non-sighted student using a screen reader, the PDF is impossible to interpret. The most accessible thing to do is to rewrite the equation using a digital equation editor, such as MathML or LaTeX. If you're unfamiliar with these tools, we recommend using a tool such as MyScript to help you generate the LaTeX or MathML code as you write it digitally. Then you can copy this code and paste it into an HTML editor in the Equations tool within Brightspace. Now, let's head into the world of PDFs that you don't own. Say you've asked your students to read a chapter from a book, and since you didn't want students to go out and buy that book, you help them out by scanning the pages and uploading them to Brightspace. It's accessible in that you're trying to make the resource easily available to your students, but in terms of digital accessibility, these PDFs have some issues. Namely, their text is not selectable and searchable. That makes them difficult to navigate because you cannot search for text, and they're nearly impossible for screen readers to interpret because the scan is an image, where the characters within the image are not recognizable. The best way to provide your students with access to this reading is to look for a digital copy at the Schumann Library. Then, share the permalink to that reading within your course. Sharing permalinks instead of scanned copies is also consistent with best practices related to copyright and fair use. Feel free to share the permalink to the whole book or just one particular chapter. That works too. When sharing materials in this manner, students have greater autonomy to select, search, resize, and even annotate the text to support their own learning. For more information about how the library can help you with digital accessibility, check out our Fueling Student Success Series webinar. Thank you for your effort to make your PDFs as accessible as possible when providing them to your students in your course. This enables all of your students to succeed, regardless of disability status.